Hey, Chef Ro here. Today I'm going to show you how to make something called palmiers. Now, palmiers traditionally are just puff pastry, cinnamon, and sugar. Some people call them elephant ears when they're really big, but super simple dessert to make, not super sweet, and nice and flaky, and it just requires store-bought puff pastry. Like I said, traditionally cinnamon and sugar. Today I'm going to use strawberry jam inside. I've also made these savory, right? Doesn't matter, but the shaping is the trick, and there's two different ways that you can shape this. I'm going to show you both ways. So you can see here, I've already got my puff pastry thawed. I usually thaw mine in the refrigerator overnight. Everything puff pastry will work much better if you chill it before you bake it again. That's what will really help it get extra flaky. But this is still pretty cold, and I've already got my strawberry jam spread on top. Now, the first way I'm going to show you is the easy way. We call it the cheating way, right? It's not going to be as pretty, but it's going to go much, much faster. Basically, you're going to think of this as a book. Okay, so you're going to take one side and you're going to fold it over almost to the middle, because we're going to have to fold it in half again. So you're going to need to leave a small gap. Okay, so do you see how I have a small gap here? Then, depending on how many layers you want, you could fold it one more time this way, just like this, and then we're going to fold it in half this way. So this is going to make almost like little hearts. I know it doesn't look like it at the moment, but I promise you it will in a few minutes. Now, usually these ends just kind of get off and burn oddly, so I kind of trim off my ends. Okay, and I just use a bench scraper. It's not sharp, not going to cut me, but it'll cut the dough nicely. Now, usually what I'll do if I really want to make it even and I don't want to pull out the ruler, what you do is you give a little mark. Here's the halfway point, and then there's about half of that. Okay, and then there's about half of that. Okay, so that's pretty thick for palmiers. So the other nice thing about doing that before you actually cut is you can erase it and say, oh, I'd rather maybe do 3 out of that size. Okay, so all you're going to do is go straight down. Okay, straight down. Okay, and towards the end it wants to kind of come out, so you push him back. Okay, then what we're going to do, the end one's full of jam, but what you're going to do is you're going to take our little hearts, right? They're going to look like little hearts when they bake up, and you're going to take them and put them this way on the sheet tray. Okay, and I've got this lined with a silpat because, well, jam is going to caramelize, right? It's sugar, it's going to caramelize, and it would stick to just about anything else. Okay, so you can see they kind of look like hearts, but not as much as the traditional way. But that's super simple, super fast, super easy. Now let me show you the traditional way to do it. So this way is going to be slightly more difficult. If you want really mini ones, you could roll it this way and have a lot more real small ones. Or if you want fatter ones, we're going to roll them this way. There's not as much easy measure to know when you've got it exactly halfway with this old school way of doing it, okay? And some people do find it to look much prettier. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to take one side and roll it until just about where you think the middle is. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, then we're going to take this and we're going to roll this one just the other half, nice and tight rolls. Okay, whoop, we got a little split in the dough here, and now we have them meeting in the middle. Now we're going to take our same bench scraper and again trim off those edges because we don't want the edges, and then we're going to once again straight down. Okay, now if you notice this time when I put them on, they look a little more heart-like. Still going to do the same thing where I put them on the baking sheet the same way, right? But they do look a little more heart-shaped. One side, though, is usually going to be just slightly thicker than the other. It's almost impossible to get them perfect, okay? These are pretty close, but even then, one side's going to be just a little bit bigger than the other, likely, okay? And we're going to do this. We're going to then put these into the oven, and you're going to flip them halfway through because they will not cook completely evenly, especially if you have anything sugary in them like jam or cinnamon sugar, okay? You're going to just put these in the oven about 400 degrees. At about 5 minutes, you'll pull them out. You will flip them over. Do about another 5 to 10 minutes, right? So about 5 to 10 minutes, flip, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how accurate your oven runs, okay? And then they will be beautiful little treats for you. Hopefully now you see just how easy palmiers are to make. But shh, we don't have to tell anybody. As far as they know, we slaved for hours for these treats for them. Now you can go and impress all your friends.